And sometimes the answer is very clear.
Yeah.
The truth is very clear.
Every single interview she does, I just feel more and more like heaviness in my soul, because now I'm like, what is it that Charlie found out? What is it? What was so evil and diabolical that they had to take him out because they knew that he would tell the world? And now I'm wondering if it was her.
They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, and Erika Kirk's eyes have been making a whole bunch of people feel very uncomfortable. Candace Owens and her fans have allegedly been going off on Erika's gaze, calling it demon eyes, especially after her last appearance where she was decked in all black and where she accused Candace for saying she unalived Charlie Kirk.
Every morning I wake up to a new headline lying about me. I have comedians dressing up in whiteface. I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
In the last 7 months, Erika has been catching fire for reasons like calling her husband's memorial the event of the century, while discussing merch sales and hat orders in the same breath. But nothing makes people feel more eerie about her than her gaze. It's not just about the fact that Erika's eyes are always laden with heavy waterproof mascara. It's about the brief pauses when she talks. It's about how she stares so deeply, so intensely, almost like she's trying to reach into your soul. So before we get into her most recent all-black appearance, let's take a quick countdown of every time Erika Kirk made people uncomfortable with her eyes, starting off with her very first appearance post Charlie's assassination, which was shortly 2 days after. Erika recorded from Charlie's home study, where she came on to appreciate everyone who worked hard to bring Charlie home. And this was the point where people just started to notice something weird about her.
I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from this studio, this chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did. Really loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. He'd want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children. And he loved me.
It was the pauses in her speech, her repetitive statements, whispering under her breath, and the fact that they were no visible tears. Even though this was the moment where she made her infamous statement, "The cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry."
You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
Now, fast forward to her second awkward eye moment was another appearance she made from Charlie's home studio just before the Make Heaven Crowded tour began. And again, people couldn't help but talk about her eyes.
We usually did before tours. We said our prayer, and we asked the Lord to protect us, and we asked the Lord that His will be done. That's what we did.
But it gets even worse, moving forward to that Fox Nation Patriot Award in November 2025. Erika showed up in a green gown bedazzled with jewels from top to bottom, but again, take a look at those eyes.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. Thank you so much to the Fox News family. Thank you so much to Jesse and everyone that loved my husband so well. Thank you.
And speaking of showing up bedazzled, the golden sequin pantsuit she swore to TPUSA Amfest in December really turned heads. But once again, her gaze was easily the topic of the day. It was at this point that people really began to question Erika Kirk's grieving widow front. Her own words, "Everyone grieves differently," began to look like a preemptive declaration of her attempt to actively grieve differently by constantly showing up looking like everything but the opposite of what a grieving widow should look like. Now, at this point, point, close sources confirmed that Erika's glam team decided to clean up her image a little bit. They reportedly unanimously came to a conclusion that it was best for her to tone down on the shiny outfits. So, in December of 2025, Erika showed up on CBS for a sit-down with Barry Weiss in an all-black pantsuit. But despite finally making an appearance like a grieving widow, this interview arguably became the most discussed Erika Kirk evil eye moment.
My husband always went live. I have nothing to hide. We're fully transparent. What you see is what you get. If I start breaking down on live TV, I break down on live TV. My husband was assassinated. He didn't die in a car accident.
For so many people to believe that reality.
Because it's too simple.
This was the same case for her State of the Union appearance. This time, people reportedly couldn't get over the forced look of pity Erika had on.
Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great man.
Even when Erika showed up in all white to forgive her husband's shooter, Tyler Robinson, people still couldn't help but talk about how her eyes carried so much ingenuity.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life. On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
The looking up, then down, the pauses. The majority just couldn't get over that gaze. Before Erika became the CEO of Turning Point USA, she was a trad wife who basically stood behind the spotlight while Charlie stood in it. Despite that, she made occasional appearances on his podcast, and at the time, she carried a clean, almost zero makeup look.
It's time to get married, understanding your biblical role as a wife and a mother, and knowing that you're ready to step into that motherhood, that being a wife, and that type of era of your life, if you will. So
she always wore her hair down, wore minimal makeup, and minimal jewelry. Not the large, chunky ones that observers are now calling Super Bowl rings. Fans allege that at the recent White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Erika was invited to, she tried to go back to that clean girl look. Minimal makeup, hair laid back, toned down on the mascara. But once again, people reportedly saw through her "I just want to go home" scene, which they described as staged, perfectly timed for the cameras.
I just want to go find
It was days after this moment she returned back to Charlie's office to record what fans are saying will become her final downfall. Erika came dressed in all black with a black hat and boldly mentioned that Candace Owens claims that she unalived Charlie. Mind you, Candace never made or implied any statement of the sort.
I have people saying I'm not fit to be CEO, and I have Candace Owens claiming I murdered my husband. And the list goes on and on and on.
Man, it's just not, the performance of all of this is not good. And before we get to her claim, in which people immediately checked her on, and it was not trending in a good way, it's not trending for her in a good way, the reaction to this, whatever this was supposed to be, just an obvious lie. She wakes up to headlines and Candace Owens saying that she killed her husband. Now, I'll show you how they're trying to clean it up. It's similar to UGA. It's going to be narcissistic abuse, where they blame it. They try a way to wiggle out of Erika lying, as opposed to saying, oh, she misspoke. They're going to try to assert that, no, Candace did say this.
At this point, we need to ask the question, what is it about Erika Kirk that makes people feel so uncomfortable? What is it about her gaze, her stare, her eyes? Even when she tries to go for the clean girl look and drops the eye mascara, people cannot help but leave comments like this. The demonic stare doesn't work with the whole make heaven crowded theme. Did Charlie Kirk know he married a demon, or was she possessed afterwards? What did I just watch? This demon tried to possess me through the phone. She needs an exorcism. What is it about Erika Kirk's entire demeanor that reportedly makes people feel like they might get possessed by a demon through the screens just by watching her. Observers have labeled her gaze psychotic and labeled Erika herself as someone who is incapable of human emotions, which sources say would allegedly explain why she called her husband's memorial the event of the century. But could Erika just be operating on a different psychological spectrum than most people? Or is there something actually sinister behind her gaze? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and watch this next video because things get more intense.